Hi, good day, everyone. I hope you're doing great. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. So I just went live on Instagram waiting to get connected. So we're live. We're live. Hi, everyone. We are live today. Did I put a title on Instagram? Well, welcome, guys. We're live on TikTok. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. So today we're going to be discussing some latest news in US immigration. In the US immigration world, it's going to be a very quick one because I have to run out of here very soon. I hope you guys are doing great. Oh my gosh, the people in in the US, this part of the world we are at, is so cold. It's getting really, really cold. So, yes, that's how we are doing on this side. Let me know how you guys are doing in Ghana, in Nigeria. Instagram says they can't hear me. Instagrammers, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please drop me an emoji of your flag. My LinkedIn is my full name, Akua, or you can you can search AK Poku Law, or go to akpokulaw.com. All the handles of my social media are right there. Then you can follow me on LinkedIn. Okay. So if you guys can hear me, drop a flag, the country you're from. Let me know where you're watching from if you can hear me. All right, guys. So we're going to jump right into it. I'm very excited to be back. Let me push this a little bit more. Okay. I think the orientation is perfect for Instagram and TikTok. All right, so we're going to be this week. U.S.A, I believe it was on Wednesday, they released something. If you're filing an immigration and U.S. immigration application, they have released some recommendations, things you should not do. As I told you guys previously in one of our posts, I said that look, in this life, there's a method to everything. There's a strategy to everything. Slay queens have their strategies. Footballers have their strategies. Prophets have their strategies. Lawyers, doctors, surgeons, professors. The tomato seller has her strategy. The coconut seller, pushing his coconut using a wheelbarrow, has his strategy. Okay, so the strategy depends, the strategy that you adopt for the type of trade you're in, it depends on what your goal is. So if you are a professor, perhaps your goal is to get the whole class to understand the concept. And so, your strategy could be to break things down very simple, keep it simple, stupid case. Or if you're a coconut seller, your goal could be to make make as much sales as possible. So depending on that, then you adopt your strategy to kind of help you to meet the end goal. So that strategy could be dressing up in a suit and a tie to distinguish you from other coconut sellers. That would be your strategy. Okay, so as I told you guys, there is a strategy to everything, even to madness. Okay, even to madness, there's a strategy. You don't just get up and be mad. Even in madness, we have strategy for madness. And this was said by Shakespeare. Okay, so USCIS, US immigration, is no different. They also have their strategies. And so they told us this week in a summary of, they released some instructions and they gave us a strategy of how we should present our filings. And they couched it in how we should not present our filings, right? So essentially, that's what this is about, how to present your filings to US immigration. Let me share my screen on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Twitter. Okay, I'm starting to lose my T, so I said Twitter. Okay, so recommendations. These recommendations are for paper filings, to avoid scanning delays. Because again, for my law firm, for example, we have sometimes clients mail in their paperwork and then we process it from the office. even the way they've sometimes arranged these filings could delay their cases, right? If you've stapled with heavy staplers and we have to find time to, take out the staplers, and then sometimes you've done double-sided printing, which is not allowed. It should be just one-sided. So there are strategies to all of these things. USCIS wants you to make sure that you're doing these things to make sure your case processes faster. So the first thing, the release date was 11 November 16th. Which date was that? Which day was that? I don't remember. Today is, how is this possible? Release date today. But I actually saw this news 2 days ago. So I don't know how the release date. Okay, well, I don't know. The release date is actually 11/16/2022, which is today. Oh, today is the 18th. I'm sorry. So 2 days ago. Yeah, so this was released 2 days ago. I'm sorry, God. Guys, I didn't have enough sleep, so please forgive me. I'm going crazy. I need a lot of rest. I haven't slept well in the past 3 days. So forgive me. Today is 18th. So this was released 2 days ago. So the USCIS is actually moving towards an increasing electronic environment, as they say in their own words. Can you guys see my screen? Facebook. Can Facebook see my screen? I'll read comments soon. Okay. I think perhaps they can. Well, let's assume they can. Okay, so they said they are moving towards an electronic environment, okay? And now they scan, and what they do is once you send your documents, let's say you are filing, you are a US citizen, you are filing for your husband, who is a foreign national, or who is a Ghanaian or Nigerian or Jamaican. Once you send your application to USCIS, what they do is as soon as they get the document, they will scan page by page by page and upload it into an electronic database system. So what happens practically is that if you send in your application and you've heavily stapled it, they have to now take apart all these heavy staples and pins in order to scan. There are others that, so for example, my office, we don't staple because we know that they don't want you to staple. So our cases will be processed faster than yours because now they have to, no, but people don't have time. They are very backlogged. USCIS, they don't have time. They'll put yours aside until a time where they can actually, undo the staples. Okay. So we're going to go through the list of things that they have recommended that you do not do. First of all, they do not want you to hole punch. Don't staple. Don't use paper clip. Don't use binder clip, or otherwise attach documents to one another. So they want free-flowing documents. In order to make sure that your documents don't get lost, you could probably use a rubber band to keep them together. Perhaps that could be useful. Okay, now let's go to the next thing. The next thing is that they do not want you to include photos or documents smaller than 4 by 6 inches for evidentiary purposes. So the size should be 4 by 6 inches. It should not be smaller. If it's smaller, then it becomes a problem for them. Provide photocopies of these items instead. So instead of sending actual copies, what they want is, if it's a picture which is small, do a photocopy, and so it will be on a 4 by 6 paper, and then that could work. The only exception is when we request a passport photo with a filing. The passport photos are the only small size things that you can send, okay? Then they also say we recommend that you do not, number 3, include anything that contains electronic chips and batteries, musical greeting cards, or any non-paper material such as cassette tapes, CD-ROMs, DVDs, toys, action figures, or thumb drives. We will not accept these types of materials. However, we will accept photographs or photocopies of these items. Sometimes what happens is that, when people are abused for example, in their marriages, sometimes they don't have written evidence of the abuse, right? Like, okay, when they're fighting with their husbands, they will just hit record on their phone. And so they will have audios, they'll have videos, and they could probably put these audios and videos on CDs and send to US immigration as part of their evidence, but they don't want that. You can just try to, transcribe, there are ways to put that in paper format. So, and it's interesting. I didn't know that people were actually sending action figures and toys, maybe to show, I don't know, maybe first gift from my husband to me was this, and I include it in my evidence. So don't send any of those hard type of materials. Just do pictures and photocopies of these items. Don't send anything that's not paper, please. Then number 4, submit forms. Do not submit forms or evidence documents bound with a binding or spiral wire or plastic. So no binding, nothing that makes it that will take them time to kind of undo, right? It takes away from the work that they are doing. They want to move very fast. So just send the documents as they are without all these attachments and binders. Then the next thing is that do not submit evidence using photo albums, scrapbooks, binders, or greeting cards. What I tell people is that, some of the scrapbooks and the albums, you can reserve them for the actual interview. When you're going in person, then you can take these albums. I think I had one myself. People we have clients, they do that. They label these pictures very nicely. You can submit that, but don't mail the scrapbooks and the actual greeting cards and photo albums along with your documents. Then please do not fold your documents. Okay, like don't turn it into like a letter. You fold it into 3 and then put it in an envelope. No, you should try to mail it in a big envelope so that the papers are lying flat and clean. There should be no lines and them trying to, flatten things out. Don't do that. Don't do that. You guys, that I tell people, like, submitting your U.S. immigration application is just like writing an exam. The more stressed out you make your examiner feel, the more likely he is to deny your case, right? Like, you want to be on his good side. You want on his good side. You want to make his work easy. So try not to fold your filings, your documents. Do not place sticky notes on documents. Don't place sticky notes on documents. They don't want that. Do not use insertable tab dividers. Do not use those things. The insertable tab dividers, we use them usually for court filings. U.S.A does not want that, so don't do that. Then do not submit more than 1 copy of the same document or evidence unless you're required. If you are required to submit a copy of a complete prior application, petition, or request, clearly mark it as copy at the top of each page to ensure it's processed as intended. So, for example, you're mailed an RFE, a request for evidence, right? When you're sent the request for evidence, what you need to do is you make a copy of that request for evidence and then put it on top and mark it as copy according to their instructions. Well, here they're specifically talking about if you're required to submit a copy of a complete prior application. Okay, so not even the RFE, because the RFE, you will normally submit the actual request, the original request. But where they ask you, okay, submit a prior application, then you mark a copy. Maybe they ask you to submit a prior application of your I-485. You're applying for citizenship, and for some reason they want that. So you'll do the I-485 and mark copy, and then attach it to the N4, whatever they're asking for, and then send it to them. So make sure you read the instructions of what they're asking for, and then you do that. Okay, now let's scroll down. I think we're almost at the end of the list. So yeah, we're right there. Okay, and the next thing, I think we have 3 more items to discuss. The next thing is that you need to send, do not, never do this. Don't send original copies, original documents, such as your birth certificate, marriage certificate, driver's license, passport, naturalization certificate, except in 2 circumstances. The first one, they require on the form instructions for the application or petition or the type of request that you are filing, then they need an original. But if you take your birth certificate, rest assured that you're not getting it back again, because Guys, they have hundreds of thousands of documents. Your marriage certificate, don't give them the original. Don't give them the original of your birth unless they ask you. And then next, they specifically issue a request for you to submit an original document. Okay. If your case falls under these two conditions, then you can submit an original. But under no circumstance should you submit an original document. If you do submit an original document, then what you're going to do is you will have to file a different application to get those documents back. I believe it's the form G884. Instruction. I'm sorry, for the request for the return of your original documents. Okay, so and that there's even no guarantee that you'll get them back. But if they request it, then they are going to send those things back to you. So I hope this helps. Now let me read some questions. Let me see if there are questions on YouTube and Facebook. Facebook, Richard Martin says, hi Richard. Boateng Francis on Facebook says, well, he didn't say anything. Boateng Francis says, we are hungry. I swear to Lord. Okay. With the laughing emojis. Pakisi Hammond has the Ghana flag. Richard Martin says yes. Oh, Greek cover says yes, but tiny to read. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have actually increased the font size. Okay. Sylvester Bachman on Facebook says yes, please. Your screen is clear. Thank you. Philip, I should actually start reading comments in between videos so that I can implement or rectify if there's any issue. Philip Goni says, why denied P3 visa? What are the causes? Yeah, you need to see me and then we see why you were denied. Normally they'll tell you the reason for denial and then you try to rectify that. So, and then we have Fresh Money. Fresh Money says, please, madam, I want to ask you this question. Please, if you win the DB lottery and you don't have passports, please, can you fill the DS-260 forms or not? You should try to get your passports done as soon as possible so that you will be able to process your DS-260, okay? And then someone says, Sylvester Anchor says, I need to talk to you ASAP. Yes, give us a call. Our number is right there under the screen and you will be able to talk to us. Let me see on TikTok. Chrissy K says, can you apply for a student visa on TikTok in the US on a B2 visa? Yes, you can. You can actually apply for change of status to F, but you don't get a visa. So it's quite complex. You need to make sure you're eligible before you do that. So I would be careful with that. Someone on TikTok says, Funmi Speak says, what's the latest? Girl, I just spilled the latest tea. Beverly Maite says, hi, how are you? I'm Kenyan and I applied for U.S. visa for medical treatment for my daughter, but it was declined. Then I applied again to attend my friend's graduation, but they declined hers and gave me. Well, congratulations to you. That's good for you. What could be the reason and how else can I do it right so she can get the visa for treatment? Yeah, so with a medical B2 visa, there are steps you have to follow. So, for example, you need to get a medical doctor in the US who's willing to treat your daughter. They should send you documents about the diagnosis, projected costs, expenses, and that they are willing to treat your daughter. And then you also normally need a medical doctor in your home country to say that, this is the issue and you're trying to get treatment from outside or whatever. So there are quite a few requirements we'll have to go through. Please contact us and then we can help you. All right, guys, I have to leave you now. I hope you have benefited from this video. If you haven't already liked our pages, all our social media pages, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. Give us a thumbs up. If you don't feel like talking, just hit the like button. And hopefully I'll see you guys next week. I wish you all a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye. Bye, guys. Go follow TikTokers. Go follow my page. Bye, Instagrammers. Take care. Have a good weekend.